What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today is the start of the MLFB. No, it's not the start of the MLFB season, but it would have been had that all have come true, but it didn't. Listen, patience is strength, and you're just going to need to be patient with them as they try to figure out the debacle that was whatever that was. I mean, they didn't even make it through. They had their first scrimmages, so to say, their jamboree. They didn't even make it quite through that, and players are getting kicked out of hotels. The coaches, everybody's getting kicked out of everything. Listen, it's been a couple weeks since then, and I've been waiting for something. And there just isn't anything coming. Their website is completely taken down. They put out the statement that they're going to be working hard to try to get the players back, to get this season back on track, and it's just not happening. And the more and more we see things, the worse and worse it looks. It is a bad thing all the way around. I mean, everybody that is higher up, especially Frank Murtha, look really, really bad within this organization. And it's really sad because this is kind of something I was starting to get excited about. A lot of it was because they had a team from Ohio, and I was really, really looking forward to seeing, a little bit more of a grassroots kind of a style of league, a pro league, what that would kind of look like, because there really isn't anything else like it. I mean, you've got the behemoths, the USFL and the XFL kind of, going toe-to-toe with one another, but really the MLFB was kind of like that next tier down, and so it was really interesting to see, for me, were there going to be some diamond in the roughs? How was the gameplay going to be in that with it? So, I am super disappointed, really, really feel terrible for the players and the coaches. I mean, getting kicked out of a hotel, that is horrible. And for some of these guys, as you know, there probably are some that remember it from either the AAF or, with the XFL getting sent home. So this is nothing new there with it. But when you look at things, it just doesn't look good. So their website's down. As their financial statements have come out, you can kind of see why. So they've got they're owing, somewhere of $30 million, and they only have, around $600,000 in cash. Like I said, Frank Murtha looks really bad because, he said he's trying to work and do all he can for the players. But, we haven't seen anything from them on helping the players get back home or reimbursing them, doing anything with that whatsoever. They haven't. They've gone literally radio silent. And to top everything off, you look at it, and he is giving himself a salary of like $400,000 a year, which in some instances for that position's chump change, but when you can't even pay your bills, giving yourself that much money, it just does not look good. And I don't know. We'll see. I hope that this is the end of the road for the MLFB and that it will just kind of die. Things will be absolved. Everything's just going to get sold off and done, and we will never hear from them again. I am done being patient with this league, and let's move on. I'm ready to move on. And really, the other thing that I did want to talk about today is all of the players that are getting signed from the USFL. Now, I'm not comparing anything with the XFL. I don't even want to go there with it. I just want to comment on how this is a very, very good thing. And right now, the USFL is sitting in a really, really nice place. One, they've done something that no modern alternative football league has done. They finished a season, and they finished it out well. And now they've got over 40 players that have signed with NFL teams, so much so that they actually had Kyle Sloter, who was one of the more prominent quarterbacks in the league. He played in the Hall of Fame game. It's kind of cool. Like he's there in Canton where they played their playoff game and that with it. So that was kind of cool that he's back there playing again, but played for the Jacksonville Jaguars and did a decent job. I mean, I'm not going to say, he was stellar or he wasn't bad. Just did a good job. And we've known that from him. We've seen that from him in preseason before. But the exposure that the league got from that game and those extra eyes is a good thing. Now, I don't know, the preseason fan is probably a lot of the same fan that's the USFL fan. But there are some other eyes that have been waiting for football that got to see, some of the, the USFL talk with that. And remember, the Fox, who owns USFL, is the biggest contracted partner with the NFL. They pay the NFL the most money for their licensing and, to broadcast their games. So this is something that you can definitely tell that there's kind of hand in hand going on here. And I think that this all is going to bode well for everyone. I think Fox is going to continue on making a lot of money off of the USFL. Players and coaches are going to continue to make money, and I think that you're going to see the ante upped this year because of the competition of the XFL. Having 40-plus players getting signed is a huge deal for this league, for this. And here's the thing with me. We just talked about the MLFB and the reputation that, these, it is a gamble to go and play in these alternative leagues. You're getting, there's no guarantee of what's going to happen. I mean, you're not only are you dealing with whether or not you're going to get cut, can you make the team, and that, your eyes are on that, but also with some of these, you're looking at whether or not, how are you going to survive? How are you going to live? You're not going to get paid, or what's going to happen there? Whereas, we haven't really heard any of those stories with the USFL yet or at all. And so that's a really good thing for them to build up a rapport with players where players can go and say, okay, they are trustworthy in the past, so they can be trustworthy in the future. And that'll be really interesting to see when you've got these players that are deciding between the XFL and the USFL, where that weighs for them, whether it, would it be the, getting the so-called better contract with the XFL, or going back to the, the USFL, or maybe choosing between both, and you didn't play with either one the year before, how that's going to shake out. And that's the thing for me that I find really interesting here is that the reputations of the two leagues and how they're going to stand on their own feet, and how they're they're going to tail of the tape, how they're going to stack up between one another is really interesting for me in this whole situation. So I'm excited for the future of both the USFL and the XFL. I can't wait for them to actually release these teams. I've been waiting for it. I just thought that with it being the day that the MLFB was supposed to start, I thought it was just good to come out and make a video, and also to talk about just the success story for the USFL in Kyle Sloter and all of these other 40-plus players so far that have been signed. And yes, there will be more. You'll start to see more of them pour in, and I would imagine you'll probably end up somewhere after the NFL season's all said and done. Definitely well over 60 of them will probably be signed, probably close to that number that the XFL, the 2020 season XFL had signed. So, right now I'm just loving the fact that that at least the USFL and the XFL are succeeding with what they're putting out there, what they're doing, and it's just giving us the fans more. And so, from my standpoint, I think that this is all good from the USFL and XFL side of things. It's all good for us. And congratulations to Kyle Sloter. He is showing that this works. Like always, I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section. Leave me a comment down there. Tell me what you think. If I'm crazy, if I'm nuts, let me know, the usual. All right, guys, listen, I know that you're busy and I know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. Have a good night. Bye.